Hit Squad. And Reckless. You know what I'm saying? MC Doc, baby. We came to do this. You heard?
Hey, what's cracking, y'all? We back, man. It's the coolest dude on YouTube, and we got something else for y'all, too. You feel what I mean? Hey, this is what I wanted to know, though, man. Because this is strange to me all of a sudden. Then I'm going to let the story kick in and do what it do. Y'all see the title. Guess what happened to all Tupac killers? And what I mean by that, it was Keefe D in the car. You know what I'm saying? The DeAndre, Orlando, and I forgot the other dude's name. They gonna tell you, I don't like getting nobody's name twisted. It was 4 in the car. You feel me? It's been 26, 27 years. Now, out of them 26, 27 years, 3 of them is dead. It's like, how does that happen, man? Was they targeted? Was it to shut them up? Did they really do it to make it to where it was totally an unsolved mystery of who killed Pac? For one, first of all, man, 4 dudes going to kill 1 dude with a gun is cowardly anyway. Y'all should have just like stopped, got out, let them have their fade. You know what I'm saying? Y'all killed dog. Y'all cowards anyway. Straight up, though. I'm only going to pop when necessary. I promise you. But look, though, we finna get into it, man, because I always wanted to know what happened to all Tupac killers. So what we going to do, we going to let them explain it, man. I ain't going to do nothing, man. I ain't going to come in with no extra hook, no extra nothing, man. We going straight into the get down, man. Holler at your boy and like and share the video, man. I'm quite sure you already know subscribe. Hey!
You know, he was like I was like a big fan of his. To me, he was like, I mean, when you say Tupac, he was like, you know what I'm saying, the Marvin Gaye rap to me.
That's crazy, though, man. That's crazy.
After Tupac's murder, Keefe D and his crew left the white Cadillac together with the pistol, which was placed on one of the tires. When they
He liked Pac. That's crazy. And Pac jumped him.
returned to the hotel, they drank and smoked weed as if nothing had happened.
Yeah. Okay, they're moving some suspects. We don't know what's going on. Hopefully, Tupac Shakur is not dead.
Where is Tupac?
We don't know. That's supposed to be the...
Next day, after they had spent a fun night, they picked up the Cadillac, but the pistol was already gone. When they were heading home, Orlando told Keefe, "Don't tell nobody what happened, not even your mama. Don't say a motherfucking thing." Keefe agreed that it is best not to tell anyone about this. The streets were genuinely disturbed by the death of Tupac and questioned about what happened in Las Vegas, to which they answered with simply nothing. They didn't use the Cadillac for a few days before they decided to clean it up. They also decided to paint it to hide traces of the crime and to forget about the incident once and for all. However, it was already too late. The thing is that, as Keefe D says, MTV started airing mass news headlines with the title Keefe D's Nephew. All of this news came to light when Suge Knight mentioned Keefe D and Orlando Anderson in an article about Pac's murder. Keefe stopped checking the news and called Suge Knight a snitch. After Tupac's murder, shootings broke out in Compton after the Southside Crips were suspected of being involved in the rapper's murder.
I think in the next 10 days, we had 3 people murdered and I want to say 11 shootings.
Yeah.
Keefe claims that Suge Knight himself was involved in these shootings as he wanted to find Orlando. Keefe knew where the boss of Death Row was at, and he wanted to pay him a visit. He headed there with his men. One of them was dressed in a UPS uniform. They went up to Suge's studio, but he did not open the door. If he would have opened the door, it would have very likely been killed.
I ain't gonna go into the detail like you try to get me waxed.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The conflict with Death Row didn't die down. One day, policeman Reggie Wright Sr., who happens to be the father of Death Row's bodyguard, Reggie Wright Jr., paid Keefe D a visit. He was worrying about his son and told Keefe, "If you kill my son, you asshole, you will pay for it." After that, Keefe understood that he needs to be ready for everything, since, after all, people in Suge's circle was clearly in an aggressive mood. 3 days after Pac's murder, Zip met up with Keefe at a cafe, and it was at that moment that Puffy called and asked, "Was it you?" According to Keefe's claims, he stayed quiet, but Greg Kading says that he confessed about the deed to Puffy.
And Keefe D, Puffy asked him, "Man, was that us? Was it, what just happened out there?" Keefe D's like, "Yeah, that's us."
Keefe D had a close friend that goes by the name C. Ray, who's basically Keefe's right-hand man in his drug business. And it is this very person who was initially supposed to be one of the accomplices in Tupac's murder. However, he chickened out, and Keefe changed to another car, to that very Cadillac. And generally speaking, a few weeks later, C. Ray's next-door neighbor got killed. The dude wasn't from Southside, but he grew up in their neighborhood. He worked as a Compton Unified School police officer and also volunteered with the Compton Police. The guy was on his way to work to drop his daughter off at school. He put his daughter in the car, then he walked around to get in the vehicle. A red car came around the corner. They shot him 35 times with an AK-47. That hit was meant for C. Ray. They got the wrong person. After that failed hit, C. Ray decided to start working with the police and became a confidential informant. C. Ray had information stating that Suge was paying $100,000 for Keefe and Orlando's heads, which he informed the drug lord about. Keefe said, "Let him know that I would kill that bastard for free." However, Keefe was nevertheless interested about where C. Ray got that information from. He suspected that C. Ray had slipped and got involved in some sneaky stuff. Then the raid on Keefe D's home took place, but he'd managed to escape prior to the raid. The search took place without him being there. Then, many were subject to searches, including Death Row. It would seem like there should have been shootouts between Keefe's crew and Death Row, but no. They even had a business deal between them. The whole thing is because then, Suge Knight was faced with the threat of imprisonment after violating his parole after footage of him kicking Orlando like a football surfaced online. Suge had to turn to Keefe D's nephew for help. Orlando, who was with his lawyer at the time, called Keefe and told him to come and bring with him 2 guns. As Keefe recalls, it was a very uncomfortable situation, as it seems that, not long ago, they nearly killed one another, and not long after, they were sitting together in a small room discussing a deal. And what was the deal? Orlando would state in court that Suge didn't kick him. This testimony would cost Suge $60,000.
When I actually knew it was a rumble going on, and that's when I started to break things up.
You wanted to break up this fight, if you will.
Attempting to pull up the security guard and attempted to pull up Mr. Anderson.
However, it didn't help Suge one bit, and he was sentenced to 9 years behind bars. Keefe D, Orlando, and their sidekick met up with Puffy in LA. At that time, they were armed, since war was raging in their neighborhood. Anderson received gunshot wounds from an AK-47 in both of his knees. For that reason, they were always on the lookout. In addition to that, Puffy hadn't paid anything for Pac's murder, even though half a year had passed already. According to Keefe's words, Puffy was highly agitated throughout the meeting and was finding it hard to speak normally. He invited them to a party which was taking place the next day at the Peterson Automotive Museum after the basketball game. The next day, they met again. There, Puffy told them that there were many feds around and that it was best for them not to meet up. Keefe asked whether they needed his protection today because there were also Bloods at the party. Puffy refused, believing that the feds would have their backs. But unfortunately, that did not help protect Biggie at all. After Biggie's murder, many started suspecting Keefe D because they believed that he killed him because he wasn't paid for Pac's murder. While it is true that he was not paid, Keefe actually hung out with Biggie a few times, and Biggie and his circle were on good terms.
Now, I never heard it on that level like that, though, because, dog, never know, man. If they did Pac, man, come on, man. I'm going to let it keep going. Y'all see I let it go for a minute, though. This is crazy right here, though, man. They and Suge and Keefe D went to school together. Shit, play football or something.
Because of that, Keefe was subject to another raid, and they found an Impala car. Biggie Smalls was shot at from this very car model. However, at that time, every other celebrity had such a car in their garage, so the police couldn't find evidence that it was the same Impala. What's more is that it was of a different color. However, they were still able to throw Keefe in jail after listening in on his phone calls where he discussed selling cocaine, and he was caught red-handed. At that time, Keefe was on the run, but the police already knew everything from C. Ray. They knew that Keefe was acquainted with Puffy and Zip, and so on. Keefe was devastated that he was turned in by a close friend. He was sentenced to 6 years behind bars, and during the time of his sentencing, Baby Lane, aka Orlando Anderson, died in a shootout. He was with his friend Michael Duro next to a car wash, where they met two guys who owed them money. In the end, Orlando pulled out his gun and fired at one of them. Orlando was fired at in return, and then Michael shot at the guy who shot at Orlando. And in this shootout, 3 people had died. Orlando died on the spot. Michael lived, but he was arrested and received a life imprisonment. During that time, Lane founded his own label company under the name Success Records, and you can even find a cover for his album online.
In a cold sweat, I shouldn't do it. But see, my seeds need some new kicks. I take the consequence if I'm caught up with the substance.
Let's talk a little bit about Big Dre, who happens to be one of the main suspects of those who shot at Tupac. After all, he was sitting with Orlando in the back seat where the fatal wounds were shot from. He founded his own label company and even released an album which includes famous rappers. The most interesting part is that the name Snoop Dogg appears on the record. That's quite the news, guys, and it seriously took me by surprise. Who would have thought that one of Tupac's killers features in his album none other than Snoop, who was Pac's friend? And the description of the album says the following: "This album is dedicated to all the fallen soldiers." And in this list, we can find the name Baby Lane, aka Orlando Anderson. So it happens that Snoop took part in an album that was dedicated to Orlando Anderson. What a discovery.
Big bosses, 100,000s, we tossing up. Cute faces, big butts, chalk 'em up.
All right, this isn't about Snoop, and we'll go back to Big Dre, who truly was big. Due to his extremely large weight, he faced a lot of issues with his health at the beginning of the 2000s, and in 2004, he passed away from health-related issues. In 2007, Keefe D met up with Puff Daddy's former stylist. The stylist informed him that Puff had paid Zip money for the murder of Pac, but Keefe didn't receive a cent. With that money, Zip supposedly opened up a nightclub in New York. Zip has been deceased since 2012 when he supposedly died of cancer. Keefe D was yet again under the watchful eyes of cops after Biggie Smalls' mother filed a lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles.
Now, all of them just happen to just die. I know it's years apart or whatever, and they die from what they died from. But it's like, that's crazy, man. Everybody that's connected with Pac being killed, though. And it's like Keefe D is the remaining last one. He told everybody the whole story, and it took them 27 years. That's crazy. Man, I wouldn't want my killer or somebody that had killed me or something like that. You got to wait 30 plus years to catch that person, man. You can really forget about a story like that. We finna get back to it. My bad, y'all. It's like, wow, that's crazy. Man, all of them gone.
At one of the preliminary hearings, the judge stated that if the city was to lose the lawsuit, then the payment for losses and damages could amount up to $400 million, which is apparently the estimated amount that the court found suitable for the damages. For that reason, they were obligated to solve the case. In the end, Greg Kading took over the investigation. At the beginning, David Mack and Amir Muhammad were the suspects in Biggie's murder. However, after a long investigation, it became apparent that they were not involved in the murder. A little later, they went after Keefe D, who refused to give them any information. At that time, the feds were investigating Keefe D and other members who were involved in drug dealing throughout the entire country. So they were not only able to sentence him for life behind bars, but they were also able to involve his family members. For that reason, Keefe decided to recount everything he knows, including what happened on the 7th of September, 1996.
I seen the bullet going Suge head. I thought he was dead.
So Tupac's trying to jump in the back seat. And what Suge doing? Just ducking?
After that, in 2015, Terrence Brown, who was the driver of the Cadillac, was found dead in Compton at Glow Gang Worldwide. Him and the store owner were killed. DJ Vlad asked why Bubble Up, aka Terrence Brown, was in question after Keefe D's confession, to which Greg responded by saying he tried, but nothing worked out, and the Las Vegas Police Department was not interested in it. And that same year of 2015 was the release of the movie Murder Rap, inside the Biggie and Tupac murders. The story was constructed based on Kading's investigation, in which he recounts all the details of the murders of the legendary rappers and who is responsible for them. Keefe D then released his own book where he talks about his life and about the music industry, how he got to know Diddy, and so on. And he began giving interviews to various YouTube channels in which he mentioned that he regrets getting involved with the boss of Bad Boy Records. He also regrets getting involved in drugs and taking part in Tupac's murder, even though he thinks that Pac got what he deserved, because no one can lay a finger on his family.
I told you I beat 3 of the baddest entities in the world. United States government, fucking cancer, and the streets.
But, as we all know, not long ago, revenge took place. And on the 29th of September 2023, Keefe D was arrested.
And my goal here today is to walk you through our investigation and what led us to the indictment of Dwayne Davis, also known as Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur.
For those who want to get to know the autobiography of Keefe D, I recommend you watch his criminal history. Hit the like button as it helps us promote the video. Subscribe to the channel. See you soon.
Man, on everything I love, man, I just want to say, though, it's like that's crazy, though, that they still have to go and ride like that, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like they jumped dog, but they had to go back and shoot. You know what I'm saying? And then how scary Puffy is that have Crips, you know what I'm saying? Because you scared of Suge Knight. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, though, boy. That's crazy, man. But it's like this, man. Watch your surroundings constantly. Watch the people you hang around. You know what I'm saying? And just like, you know, live a little better. Watch your back a little bit more, man. And that's just my little message to y'all. I love you, man. If you watched the video, thank you. We up out of here, baby. Yeah.
A year done passed since I flipped the dough. The coolest dude on YouTube, newest hippest show. From old school to new and I bless the still flow. I edit the videos to uplift your soul. I be that spiffy bro for 54. So like, share, subscribe to the channel to get more. Feel free, leaving a comment and more. If you wanna be entertained, open your eyes and let's go. We give flowers over here, you hear me though? Every artist, every genre, we switching it up though. Click that button to witness the videos by MC Doc, 50 Brow for 50 pounds. Y'all can subscribe, y'all can like and share. Leave a message here, leave a message there. Whatever the video you rock to,
yo, just give thumbs up.
Y'all can subscribe, y'all can like and share. Leave a message here and leave a message there. Whatever the video you rock to,
yo, just give thumbs up.
Thanks to all my subscription friends for rocking with your boy from beginning to end. So go share this with all your friends and
yo, just give thumbs up.